power slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam. Turn it up, turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? Dr. Chris Featherstone here for episode 608 of the Pancakes and Power Slam show. It is Tuesday night, late Tuesday night, the brink of Wednesday, late Tuesday. You know what that means, and it's about to have a good time here talking about CM Punk on episode 608 as the PNP Nation is loading up, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to share my thoughts, of course, as always here on Pancakes and Power Slam show. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to also take the questions from the PNP Nation. Hashtag Ask Doc. That is the way to get your question on the screen. And for my patrons on the after party, we're going to have some fun because I've been getting some really good reviews on the trivia on the after party. So we're going to do more trivia tonight on the after party live trivia. For those who are patrons, of course, hop on the after party and you get to be on the screen with me, and I will be giving you trivia questions and you will be competing against each other. We had a lot of fun last week doing it. And so this right here is my own Dr. Chris made CM Punk trivia. So this is all CM Punk trivia. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it on the after party. Of course, that's patreon.com/pancakes and power slams. Listen, it's less than $1 a week for trivia, for interviews, for exclusives, for Q&A. Less than $1 a week. Less than $1 a week, y'all. Join the PNP after party because we have a lot of fun. Of course, those who are patrons can vouch that we have a lot of fun. And so last week we did Survivor Series trivia, and it was fun. And this week we're going to do CM Punk trivia. So we're going to hop over there here in a moment and have some lot of fun there. So the topic at hand today is what's up, Ricky? What's up, Av, Aaron? All in the building. So I'm going to give my not so popular opinion on CM Punk. My not so popular opinion on CM Punk. All right. So let's start here. Let's start here with CM Punk. First of all, good for CM Punk. Good for CM Punk. Good. You know, it's been nearly 10 years. I'm super happy that he was able to do everything that he did. And as far as just, burying the hatchet, clearly because it got really ugly, back in 2014. He no-showed his appearances after leaving the Royal Rumble. He was getting burned out. He ended up getting suspended for a while, and basically he was contacting WWE because of unpaid royalties. Then that got ugly, and then 5 months later he gets married to AJ Lee, and then they fire him on his wedding day. And of course, about 6 months after that, 5 or 6 months after that, he had a very controversial shoot style interview with Colt Cabana on his show, and he really laid out a lot of what was going on just the backstage as far as how he felt and how his relationship with WWE was at the time, and just how he felt as a professional wrestler. He was just getting burned out. So he left the company. He left the sport altogether. He dabbled into in a few things. He tried MMA. That bombed, substantially. 0-2. He was lost against lower card guys. He just wasn't built up for that. What's up? RK4 is in the building. Michael's in the building. What's up, y'all? So this wasn't built for that. The AEW return was interesting. It worked as far as just the Chicago crowd. And then he was gone at that time from wrestling all together. I mean, yeah, he had a couple blips here and there with the Fox deal, with the WWE like talk show that they had for a little bit. CM Punk was one of those people. So that was kind of a way of bringing back CM Punk in a WWE type of fold a little bit, but that was more of a Fox style contract. But he was talking about WWE when they had their little talk show type of commentating show with Booker T and I think Paige or Soraya was one of the people too. Christian Cage, I think, was on there too, or Christian in WWE. Christian, he was a part of that too. And they would do like promos. I believe Joe did a little bit of something there too, Samoa Joe, if I'm not mistaken. So it was an interesting type of thing that they were doing with them. And so Christian Cage, that was kind of like his opportunity to kind of mend mend the fences, but he still wasn't wrestling though. When he came back in AEW last year. Yeah. So that was 8.5 years away from, almost 8.5 years away from the business and the wrestling role altogether. So, so being gone and away from wrestling in the ring competition for that long, the comeback, the hero's welcome was interesting. It worked. It was a good ovation. Like I said, I say this all the time. I'm a sucker for a return pop. I love a return pop. I love the energy that comes with that. I love the moment. I love moments. I love highlight reels. I love, just things, period, but specifically pro wrestling moment, highlight reels that just goes into the annals of history. So I do think when it comes to CM Punk's return in AEW, just that night in Chicago, it was like a surreal moment. And I liked that, but it didn't last long though. It didn't last long. People just started to cool off very quickly on CM Punk. And then after the scrum, of course, that's one of the most infamous moments in the history of AEW. And then, he comes back. They have Collision, designated for him because of kind of like a no contacts, type of, unofficial restraining order seemingly with the Elite, and that dissension within, and then the All In thing as far as the situation that happened backstage. Even Tony Khan made that public. And so all of this in a matter of 2 months, CM Punk is cutting a promo saying that he's a changed man. So I do this, as a profession, as a psychology is my thing. Like I love psychology. I'm well studied in psychology. I'm a doctor in psychology. And so if I'm thinking from a standpoint of psychologically, this CM Punk is a very cynical person by nature. I mean, people are cynical. There's people who are very skeptical in life and cynical in life. From the people that I've know who work with CM Punk, from the tweets, the stories that's just been going on for years. He's just a cynical person. He just has a different outlook on life, but respectfully though, he's also someone who doesn't take any crap. What I mean? And as someone who as a fellow someone who don't take crap, I do respect that. I do appreciate that. But the problem is that I used to be that guy too, of just like didn't really care, didn't have a filter, didn't really care who I was around. there's still a way to have that type of commanding presence, but still have tact with it, and be imposing, but not at the standpoint of making yourself look juvenile. And I do think that people who are unhinged and don't really have that type of emotional regulation, it does become a problem that you do become like a time bomb. You do become someone who is known to have a short fuse. You do have someone who does speak up for themselves, even if it's at the cost of, basically giving up everything as far as what they have, in the company. So a lot of company executives, they feel that that's disrespectful, that you're speaking up for yourself in a way that's disrespectful and just unbecoming. Now, if you want to do it from a professional way, that's great. But if you don't want to do it in a way, if you just want to do it out of just, a low self-control and not handling yourself well emotionally, that becomes an issue to many people. And CM Punk has kind of prided himself of being that person who speaks up, and I just don't know. I mean, I hope that he does, but I just don't know as far as paradigms work and things like that. I just don't know if this honeymoon phase of, okay, we're burying the hatches, the money's good, the deal's good, but is that just sweeping the real CM Punk under the rug? I venture to say so. Perhaps it's not. I could be wrong, but I do know enough about psychology to know that this seems like a good honeymoon phase. This seems like a good moment. It kind of reminds me of like someone who kind of like had a very poor relationship with an ex-girlfriend, and it's like someone who had a long relationship with the ex-girlfriend. They broke up. It was really ugly. They didn't see each other for a while, and they kind of saw each other again on IG or something like that. And one person, after like 5 or 6 years, kind of slid in someone's DMs like, oh yeah, that picture looks nice. And it just kind of sparked some old stuff going on. But neither of them have really changed. Both of them still have a pettiness towards them. Both of them have a lack of self-discipline in them that really caused each other to break up. But they're just kind of turning a blind eye to those things. And they're still kind of catering to those physical attractions again, that allure. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? They turn a blind eye to all the things that cause them to break up. And then they go on a date. Hey, I was just wondering, like, hey, what's going on in your love life? No, I'm still just kind of single here, just living it up, and just, really focused on my professional career, just really batting down as far as just business is concerned. Oh, well, it's interesting because I'm like that too. I'm just been really business minded. I haven't really spent a lot of time with having to break up and with people, and haven't really had that emotional connection, or really spent the time or made the time to have that emotional connection. It's interesting. I had a couple relationships, since we broke up, but it didn't really work out. So, hey man, maybe we can get some dinner. Maybe we can get some dinner, just Friday night, 8:00, okay, cool. You still like that favorite restaurant? That's still your favorite restaurant? Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Well, you game for that? Okay, cool. Sweet. So he picks her up at 8:00, picks her up at, they go to the dinner, and then within 10 minutes, they both talk to each other, and one of them's like, oh, okay. Now I remember why we broke up. You know what I mean? And so you kind of have those moments at first, the spark is there, and it starts to flicker a little bit, it starts to have a little flame, and then all of a sudden, just an emotional drenching of, okay, now I remember. And so here's the thing. Could it be opposite? Could it be, hey, you know what? it ends up and they have an amazing connection, and both of them change, and things are better, and now they're more mature. Could that happen? Sure. I hope that it does. I hope that it does. But if the person finds out that just a couple months ago the person was had a really cantankerous breakup just a couple months ago, that person would be a little bit hesitant to say this person's matured. And so we will see what happens with CM Punk. That is my unpopular opinion of the return of CM Punk. Do I hope the best for CM Punk? Yes. Do I wish the best for CM Punk's WWE tenure this time? Yes. Do I wish the WWE takes better care of CM Punk? Yes. Do I wish that WWE spends more time with making sure CM Punk is physically capable to compete and doesn't get burned out? Yes. Do I think CM Punk is responsible for making sure that he doesn't get burned out? Yes. I also think that it's difficult for me to put my stock in and push all my chips in on the fact that this relationship between CM Punk and WWE is all rainbows and butterflies, and is going to be like that for, the rest of their tenure. I'm not confident in that happening. I'll just say that. Do I want it to happen? Yes, absolutely. I want it to go well. I want it to be amazing. Am I confident enough to push all my chips in? Personally, no, I don't see it. Again, from a professional opinion, I don't know CM Punk or Triple H or WWE personally. I don't know them personally. I just know a lot of wrestlers who've worked with CM Punk that I've talked to, and it's given me, some ins and outs on them. But do I know CM Punk personally? No, I don't. But I do know enough from the recorded history of CM Punk and WWE and CM Punk and AEW to know that, it was just a couple of months ago that CM Punk had a nasty breakup, and is this going to change 2 months later? That is a nasty break. Is a nasty breakup in a new relationship that was an old relationship going to make this person a changed man? Typically, no. And so we'll see how far this goes. And again, I'm wishing them the best. There's not a lot of details as far as CM Punk's schedule is concerned, as far as like full time and how many times. I mean, he's signed a multi-year contract, is what I was informed. But as far as just like, will he be competing on Raw every week? That I don't know. So we'll see where that goes. All right, let's address these questions before we head over to the after party for the CM Punk trivia. All right. Ricky highly recommends everyone who gets involved in the after party. Yes. RK4 says Punk doesn't work how he used to due to age. At what point does he break down again like he did in AEW? I mean, like I was saying, it's just emotionally, is he there? It does take some maturing. And again, if he had a nasty breakup just 2 months ago, how can the new relationship, which was the old relationship, be confident enough that he won't have a nasty breakup with them either? Michael's in the building. What's up? Av is saying, do you see CM Punk having a schedule like Brock Lesnar? I don't, actually. I see CM Punk much more involved like Brock Lesnar. Not like every week competing, though. I do think that they want CM Punk to be a novelty act. I don't think that the WWE wants to put all their stock in CM Punk, because Tony Khan did that and it didn't work out for him as far as making him world champion and all that. Yes, he did get injured, but at the same time, there was just a lot of stuff going on with him that just really made Tony Khan kind of regret that he put all of his stock in him to be the number one guy in the company. So, but at the same time, he was, for a while, your hottest ticket in the company as far as just buzz is concerned, that didn't last. That didn't last a long time, but it lasts enough for you just to kind of try to cash in on that. It seems like Tony Khan cashed in on that. It seems like Khan cashed in on that more toward the latter, more toward the tail end of his buzz than the front end, which I think that could have been timed a little bit better. But I do think that he just wanted to cash onto that buzz, and he did, but it didn't last long. All right, Roland is asking, what's up, Dr. Chris? What's up, my man? I liked how the WWE gave Randy Orton his deserved moment by having his delayed surprise return interrupt Priest Money in the Bank cash, and I agree with that. I like how they did that too. I do think, he's been gone for a year and a half, and Randy Orton's been a WWE guy through and through since 2002. He debuted in 2002. He's been there over 21 years now. He's been like committed to WWE. Of course, he had his moments too, back in early days, 02, of course, the signature pharmacy stuff, and, all the times when he would get flagged and suspended for violating policies, and the people who would say how much of a jerk he was. He's matured from what so many people are saying now. He's matured. And so I do think that, being there for so long and being such a company guy for a while now, I do think he deserved that. Rollins also asking, it sounds like CM Punk feels empowered in the pro wrestling industry, which dictates his attitude. There were no such issues of bad behavior with Dana White in the UFC. I think that's a really good point. Because he came in kind of like he came in as a liability. He was just, Dana White was just testing the waters. Dana White brought in CM Punk because of the hype and because of making money from the buzz. And so that's the reason why he only competed twice. And hasn't been there since. And so he realized, okay, well, the walk didn't match the talk, and the buzz is rapidly declining because he just got beat by two lower card guys. And, he came in as a liability. He maintained, he remained a liability in the UFC. He views himself more of an asset in pro wrestling because he's done, to be fair, he's done a lot to become an asset in the WWE. Professionally and emotionally, not so much, backstage, not so much from all the reports and stuff and all the stories over the years. But as far as accomplishments, achievements, ring work, good feuds, things like that. Yeah. He's done a lot to make himself an asset in the company, an asset in the industry, and that because of that, he's viewing himself more of an asset than a liability. And when you view yourself more of an asset than a liability, confidence comes in, and with that, ego, pride, arrogance, all of that can be wrapped up in that too. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's do this before we head over to the after party. Orton looked in great shape. Do you think his return got overshadowed? Yes, I do. I think that it was strong, but I do think that it got overshadowed to a degree. Yes, I do. He did look in really good shape. He looked massive, which was great for him. So, all right, PMP Nation, I'm gonna head out, man. We are heading over to the after party. Of course, patreon.com / pancakes and power slams, less than $1 a week, man. We have a lot of fun, and I've got some giveaway ideas too that I'm was churning in my head to start doing some giveaways. So stay tuned for that because trivia is becoming a big hot thing in my after party with the patrons, and so I'm going to do more trivia. And the Stack'em series, Stack'em series is coming back. There's been some really good topics, some really good buzzing topics coming on. So the Stack'em series is not over with. We're just taking a little bit of a hiatus. That's going to come back. And also by request from our patrons. They want to do the Stack'em series with me and vote on people, so they'll be joining me on the screen too. So if you become a patron, you'll be able to do that too. Again, less than $1 a week to do that and have some fun with that. All right, we are heading over to the after party. Av is saying that the only problem I have with Punk is his fans. Oh my gosh, his fans are cultish, absolutely. So, all right, y'all. Enjoy until next week. Enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I'll do it for you. See you at the after party. Patreon.com/pancakes and power Sams. See you soon. Solo.